Before we get started, we wanted to give you a quick heads up about this episode. What you're about to hear was originally released as part of The Green Room, our Patreon exclusive feed, and was recorded some time ago. So if you hear us discussing upcoming movies, recent news, or events that have long since passed, that's why, you're diving into the Midnight Double Feature archives. Every now and then, we'll unlock some of our favorite Green Room episodes and release them here on the main feed. But if you enjoy what you hear and want access to the full library of bonus content, you can join the Green Room for just $5 a month. As a member, you'll get exclusive bonus podcast episodes, access to our video podcast, early access to selected content, and a whole lot more time spent with us talking about movies. Oh, and I also have the newsletter, so that's very exciting. It's where some of our most relaxed, unfiltered, and unexpected conversations happen. More importantly, joining the Green Room is one of the best ways to support Midnight Double Feature as an independent podcast. We don't hide our content behind endless ad breaks, and we don't have a big media company backing us. It's just two movie lovers creating content because we genuinely love film and the community that's grown around this show. Every membership helps us cover the costs, improve what we do, and continue producing the podcast, live streams, reviews, and bonus content that make Midnight Double Feature what it is. We've been doing this for 8 years and we couldn't be happier. If supporting independent creators is important to you, we'd love to have you join us. And if you're not already following us, make sure you check out Midnight Double Feature on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We're always posting reviews, clips, live stream announcements, and plenty of movie related nonsense throughout the week. But for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy this bonus episode from The Green Room. Oh, I love the feeling of bonus episodes where there's just like you don't need to do an intro. Like, you don't need
Right, yeah. Well, it's kind of like it's like waking up out of bed and just rolling into your living room with your underwear on, and it's such a nice just like yeah, this is what I'm doing today, you know.
with my underwear on, dude. I'm fucking freeballing it right now.
Yeah.
I guess we're in it then.
Yeah,
we're in it. We're recording, guys. Thank you.
if
so
we're
much
not in it,
us.
I don't know where we are, buddy.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid to think about it.
We're in something. we're in something. Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. This is a bonus episode. If you're listening to this, you're a member of the Green Room, which we can't thank you enough for. You better not be fucking pirating this shit, you motherfuckers.
You know what? If someone's pirating it, I would be I'd be like, you know what? That's how much you wanted
impressed.
that. That's how
I'd be
much you
impressed.
wanted that. You know what? Fuck it. Half free membership. You pirated it.
Yeah. I want to go to task and thank a couple of Green Room members. I kind of like shouted them out in a fucking Facebook post the other day. I shouted out Jose, Patrick, and Danielle, and I was just like, "Hey guys, can you just champion our fucking bonus content, please?" Because you know what, man, I think testimonials. If I saw a testimonial from someone,
like a real person,
praising something, yeah, instead of the person creating it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. To me, I'd just be a bit more inclined to join up or to sign up. So if you're listening to this and you're a Green Room member, we'd really appreciate you getting the word out there. You guys are our champions. We're a small independent podcast. Got no advertising at all, no sponsorship. We didn't start the podcast to earn an income or anything like that. And we're actually still not earning an income.
Yeah.
I mean,
income. No, I'm just kidding.
The proceeds and money that you're spending for the Green Room, while we 100% appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much.
We've never fucking done a withdrawal or anything like that. It's all going to go straight back into the podcast, probably, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more about just thank you for supporting the show and thank you for letting us do this extra shit.
Thanks for being our excuse to hide in closets and record and not have to,
Right. Exactly. So yeah, dude, let's get into Saw. Let's get into let's get into a franchise that kind of like shaped. I don't know about your generation. You're like 3 years older than me, so you're 100 years old already.
Hmm.
But kind of shaped my generation. And I know. Well, Matt's older than you, right? Or is your age or
I'm
something? Right.
90. I was born in 90.
Okay, I think he was born in '90 as well.
Hmm. That explains it.
Because this franchise, and we'll talk about the original movie, but I kind of want to talk about the franchise as a whole as well.
Yeah, you got. I mean, you
Um,
got to.
Absolutely, because like this was like these movies came out yearly on Halloween, and they were like there was always growing up. I was like the perfect age because you'd hear people be like, and it's not R18 here. Like I think there's only two of these movies that were R18, but the other
Hmm.
movies, so like Saw 1, Saw 2, I'm pretty sure Saw 3, MA 15 plus. So you could go to the movies if you were 15 years old and watch this movie.
Hmm.
Um, and those always made for conversations in high school, like around Halloween and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, and it was always just like, have you seen the new Saw movie? Like, it's fucking gnarly, dude. Like, there's this guy in chains and like it's in his tendon and he's gonna pull him apart. And like, I think this and Matt and I were talking about in upcoming attractions. This and Paranormal Activity eventually developed into like this yearly sort of like release around Halloween, and
Right.
it was just such a great like studio ploy to keep everyone talking about the franchise. And we don't have those anymore. Like, we don't have those yearly releases. I mean, you can talk about the MCU, yes, for sure. But the MCU is a little different in that, like, they're a bit more interconnected. They form one story. There's like three of them a year or some shit like that.
Hmm.
So, yeah, like, what was your kind of like experience with the Saw franchise as you were coming up?
Yeah, I honestly, I've never really watched a lot of them. I've never really been into them a lot before. I think I may have seen the second one or the third one at some point, but I really couldn't tell you when, and I could barely half-ass remember that. I really have no like allegiance or like loyalty to this franchise at all. This was probably the first time I've ever watched the first one like all the way through, and it's okay. I don't think I'm just going to jump right in. I don't think that this is worthy of launching like a six film, franchise. Like, I don't know. Personally, eventually they become redundant and you're just doing the same thing. And it's just these setups and stuff like that. It's fun. It's unique. It's a first time director. So be easy, man. I'm not going to treat this like I would The Conjuring, cause he's got a few under his belt, but it's just okay. I didn't love it, and I have really no like love for the series. I don't really feel compelled to go see another one. I don't know. This really kind of like this really whiffed it with me, and I was like,
Interesting.
man, I like part
Because
of
you being
this.
the horror fan that you are, I was like,
Hmm.
huh. I wonder how he's going to approach this.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan, even though this one has very little torture in it. It's kind of implied stuff, and you see maybe flashbacks and stuff, but for it to have spawned this whole like now torture porn as a category of horror is said with this kind of like negative connection.
Mhm.
Torture porn. It's kind of a condescension of like, oh, it's just torture. Torture porn is usually said in a negative context. So that's why I was like, I don't think that is a false thing that the rest of the series gets that the first movie really doesn't do. And I really appreciate that. This was not the torture porn. There's a couple of traps. Yeah, he cuts his foot off, but like, I guess compared to what the rest of the season, what the rest of the seasons, what the rest of the films did, it's probably the tamest one, most likely. What's the one where the girl falls in a pit full of needles and she's like a
That's the
heroin
second
addict?
one.
Yeah, that's the one that I saw and that fucked me up. And I was like, damn, dude, I don't really think I'm down for these. So it's cool. It's fun. I like I said, I don't really have hardly anything to say because I don't think I've ever watched maybe but half of the second one,
This is going to be a good episode of the podcast. Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Fucking...
I definitely have like critiques about it, but as like a series, it's like, I don't know. It just kind of fell. This one just kind of fell flat. And I guess I was expecting more because of the hype. But when I kind of like put the right kind of perspective on it, man, this is a first time director. Try to think of like,
It's
you don't know
2004.
right.
I mean, like these
right.
did not exist in
Mhm.
2004.
It's 04. like it's a first time director and you don't know the twist. That's a big thing. I've known this twist for like years. So, what's the big thing at the biggest part of the movie is something that I already know about. So it's like, well, man, that kind of sucks. Like I was like, man, okay, whatever. It's like, but I tried to push that out of my head and be objective. And I guess with that on it, I can appreciate it more. But I guess just from a filmmaking standpoint, even trying to be easy on them for being first time filmers, I'm sorry, first time like directors and first time writers and stuff, there's definitely parts of it where I was like, I don't know, man, that still is just kind of, I don't know, it still was. I tried to look at it with give them the benefit of the doubt, but there was a couple of points where that doubt was just like, I don't know about that, dude. Like, and I feel bad because I don't want to be overcritical and I don't want to be an asshole, but it's definitely better than the fucking short film that I made with my friend, So what am I fucking saying, but yeah, it's okay. I enjoyed it. I just not really, it's a one night stand. I don't really know. I don't really need to go and watch this again. I don't want to meet its siblings, i.e. the sequels. I don't want to see mom and dad. It's like, I'm cool. This is fun.
I fucking love this movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And look, I don't know if it's nostalgia because I mean, come back. Come on back. I mean, it's not unfounded to love the first Saw movie.
No, it's okay.
It's a fucking.
I really am just. It's okay. I'm just telling you, it's okay that you like it. It's okay.
You know what? It's interesting. there. It's sitting at 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I think it should at least be 65. I mean, critically.
I'm split right down the middle. I'm kind of 50-50. 65-35. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I think I'm bringing, again, like a lot of nostalgia to it because when I watched it this week again, and again, the first time I've seen it in at least over a decade. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie.
Yeah.
Before last night. And I'm sitting there with Steph and I was like, all right, I know the beats of this movie. My brother and I used to watch the DVD quite a bit when we were a bit younger. And we were watching it and I was just engrossed. I was just in it. As soon as Adam wakes up in the fucking in the tub and the key goes down, I'm like, oh fuck. There goes his fucking chance of redemption, Mm-hmm. And you're just in it, and even though the twist, I mean it's an iconic twist. I was just engrossed from start to finish again. And I'm thinking about because I'm kind of good at watching a movie in the context and perspective that it was made. So, if Saw is made in 2004, I kind of start and press play on a movie when it was made. I'm just let me put myself in the mindset of an audience in 2004 and see how we go.
Right.
Because it's really, I mean,
to be fair, you got to be fair.
Yeah, to be 100% to be fair. But also at the same time to recognize whether this can carry an entire series on its back. And I think it can. I think this twist is so effective and just unbelievably amazing. I mean, I had never seen a twist like this before ever. And I remember that was all everyone was talking about in relation to this movie. It was the twist, the big twist, right? That big, oh fuck, he's in there with them this entire time. Are you fucking serious?
Right, yeah. That would have blown my fucking mind the first time I saw it. I would have been so impressed, especially at 14. I would have been so fucking impressed with that. I think it could swing a trilogy. I think it could swing 2, 3, 4 movies.
That's what I want to get into because Leigh Whannell actually wrote up until 3 to be a trilogy. So
cool.
He left after the third one.
Well, good on him.
Yeah. And then 4, 5, 6, and 7, and Jigsaw and Spiral go wildly insane. I can't wait to talk about Spiral as well.
I honestly, and just talking about James Wan, I like James Wan. Leigh Whannell is way better. I'm sorry, man. I like his shit way more. Maybe it's genre stuff that he does.
I think it might be early. I think it might be early to call it, yeah, because he's only done 2 things. He's done 2 things.
But how good were Visible Man and Upgrade? Did
you see Invisible Man? Did you
I
end up
watched
seeing
like
it?
the first half hour of it and ended up,
Okay.
I was like, dude, I was like, fucking, I'm going to pass out.
Yeah.
Upgrade, we cover. I fucking love Upgrade. That's one of those pods or one of those podcasts I might want to take another swing at someday. It's like, I think Upgrade has jumped very high for me.
We went deep on that episode. We went
Yeah.
so deep on that episode. I don't know. I think it's still early to call because you know what? I'm ready to call it on the next movie. Because he's doing the Wolfman with Ryan Gosling. Lee
Yeah, I
Whannell
hope
is.
that sticks, but
I hope it sticks as well. Because right now he's got two home runs under his belt. He also did the third Insidious movie, which is not great. So I'm just kind of
yeah,
like, I don't know. But that's his first time directing. Like, you kind of have to give it to him.
sure.
But I mean, I don't want to discount James Wan, man. Like, I mean,
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying that I think that,
Insidious is a home run for me. That first Insidious, dude, that is
I think we're going to have a Panic at the
terrifying.
Disco and Fall Out Boy moment. Do you know those bands that I'm referencing? Panic at the Disco
Yeah.
and Fall Out Boy?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So there originally Fall Out Boy was already a band, and then the bass player found out about Panic at the Disco and got him like a demo and got and then they ended up going way bigger than Fall Out Boy, and it was like, oh, okay. And I think that's kind of like, that's a weird analogy, but that's what I think about like Lee Whannell is like, dude, his sensibilities, like the way, I don't know. I just think I have a much bigger preference for his style. I like James Wan. He's good.
I'm
but
curious to see what's going to happen because James Wan started with these like low budget horror films, like Dead Silence was another one that he did, which was okay. It was decent. It was about a puppet. He did The Conjuring, which I thought was great. He did The Conjuring 2, which I thought was pretty good as well. And then he kind of like launched into the stratosphere in terms of like budget and what he was getting. So after that, after The Conjuring 2, he did Fast and Furious 7, which is the one where Paul Walker died in the middle of it. And he kind of like had to make do. And in my opinion, I think like if you kind of like rank the series, that's like up there with one of the better ones. Like that's kind of like I guess the consensus. But also he did Aquaman. So like he's kind of like gone into like this wild kind of like big budget territory. And I'm interested to see if Lee Whannell gets offered a giant $200 million movie, whether he's gonna do that. Whether he's gonna like eventually go into like that kind of territory, because right now he's dealing with like low budget horror movies. Like, I mean, The Invisible Man was $10 million. How do you make a movie like that for $10 million? Just very briefly, interestingly, James Wan's got a horror movie coming out this year called Malignant that I'm really keen for. It's an original concept. I have no idea what it's about, but it's a lower budget horror movie, and like maybe that's what Lee Whannell probably ends up doing as well. Like he does these like small horror movies, goes to like a big budget movie, and then like in between he starts making these like smaller indie movies. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I wonder. I mean, if you're already doing Invisible Man and you fucking crushed it, and then you're doing a Wolfman movie. I mean, I doubt he's going to sit there and do like the whole dark universe thing, like Dracula and Frankenstein and Creature of Black Lagoon and shit like that. Have you ever seen any of those? Have you ever watched the old Universal? Have you ever watched those at all? The old black and white?
I think I've seen Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh, really? I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
We grew up with them recorded off of Sci-Fi in like the early 90s Sci-Fi channel. We had Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. I fucking love that movie. The original Wolfman, we had like one of the mummies with Boris Karloff. It wasn't the first one, but it was in one of those black and white Boris Karloff ones. I would love to do one of those one day because those movies are like fucking 20 minutes long.
If it doesn't have my man Rick O'Connell in it, I'm not interested. Yeah, I'm
sorry. gotta have that sweet man meat in there. But yeah, fuck dude. This movie. Anyways, no.
Look, okay, it doesn't deserve. I'm sorry. Look, it doesn't deserve to be lumped in there with the sequels. It just doesn't. It doesn't. Like right. It's one of those. Like, talk about original. I mean, like, talk about original concept. Talk about execution. Because these two were like right out of film school, and when I say these two, I mean Lee Whannell, James Wan.
Right.
They eventually, they didn't want to release this. Like, their agent was like, man, like you should get in touch with someone in the States. And, eventually the producers, I'm forgetting the name, Berg, Cools, and Hoffman or whatever,
Mhm.
They were like, we want to see what you guys got. So they filmed a short pitch. It's 9 minutes long. It's actually called Saw 0.5. It's a bonus feature on the DVD.
Huh.
And basically the pitch is Lee Wanell is a guy in the reverse bear trap, and then James Wan films this. Basically, this is the trap that Amanda is in the movie,
Right. Right.
and they just filmed that entire sequence, and it's 9 minutes long. They showed it to the producers. They're like, "Fuck yeah, we want more
this
of
is
this."
I mean, again, I have a
and
lot of
that's
fond
how they
memories
got
about
their
this
budget,
movie.
dude. Like
Watched
they
it with my
made that
brother.
short for I think $5,000 in
I
their
think
own
Lee
pockets.
Wanell starring in this
And
movie
it's
got
like really
financed.
funny, and like
You know,
it's just
now
like
we're-
Yeah.
we're
there's a
talking
little
about
bit of
them
like a
all the way
meta
in
aspect
fucking
there.
different countries.
He's okay in the movie. Carrie Always is
Okay.
okay. There
Yeah.
are some parts in this movie where it's just like, man,
Yeah. He needs
I
to
don't know.
not say bastard. The word you bastard.
Bastard!
I was like, dude,
Dude.
you're not in Bram Stoker's. Like, I gotta say, I went to a convention and he was there, and he was the only person. And I mean, John Cusack, William Shatner, George Takei, Dave Bautista, all these
Oh,
people
shit.
were there, and he was the only one that had these dividers up around his corner booth. And basically, you couldn't like come up and even like look at him or just wave or take a picture of him. Like,
Oh,
you had to go around the thing to
Prick.
go to meet him. And I was like, okay. And he was at the Fright Night, or not the Fright Night, Princess Bride thing with Chris Sarandon, and Chris Sarandon was so sweet and so nice, and you can tell he's just loved doing that movie. Carrie always was kind of like, aren't I cool? And it's like, God, fuck off, dude. Fuck off. But
That's gold.
yeah, he's got some moments in here. For 04 though, this was pulling down some fucking names though. I mean,
Right, and the
I'm
budget that it
surprised.
was made for. I mean, it was made for I think what like $1 million. I mean, Danny Glover, dude, like that's there's
Right.
your A-lister. There's
Right,
your
yeah.
fucking Lethal Weapon, money power, dick power.
Right. Mhm.
Another person I really want to mention is Michael Emerson. He plays Zep, and he's from Lost. So at this point, I was already watching Lost. I was way into it, and the casting of Michael Emerson, who looks like a bug-eyed freak,
Right, yeah.
to kind of like really throw you off the tail of like, off the scent of like who is Jigsaw and who really is the antagonist of this movie. Really effective, I think, because like he looks like a creep. Like he could be
He's
the
a red-
one,
he's a good
like,
red
behind
herring.
this. 100%. But yeah, man, I really dig this movie. Like in terms of like execution, in terms of like what they had to do with the budget that they had. Like for example, like the shaking of the cars and shit because they just couldn't afford a car chase or anything like that. And like them, like they reversed the shots like in the bathroom because I think they only had like one side of it or something. Like so like there were points in it when they were like reversing the shots. So like Gordon and Adam would sometimes be in the same. I don't know. I started reading this and I think I had to take a shit or something.
Your brain was just like, well, all right, see you later.
You're right, exactly. But no, man, this is a good movie. I think I'm gonna go ahead and probably, man, like I don't know, like this kind of like fell off the radar for me for a long time, and like I'm just like, shit, there it is. That's
Yeah.
why we have a fucking 9-movie franchise now.
Yeah,
And,
I think that's I think it's great, or I think it's good. Not great, but
Hmm.
good. I think it's a solid flick.
Yeah, totally. Steph and I watched Saw 2 last night, so I think we're just gonna eventually just keep going through. There is a huge drop in quality. Because
Oh, sure, yeah.
like again, it's not James Wan. It's a guy named Darren Lynn Bousman. So he went on to direct Saw 2, Saw 3, and Saw 4. And he kind of like has this, like, because Saw 2 is where the term torture porn comes in, right? Like this is
Mhm.
Saw 1 is not torture porn, Saw 2 is. And it really like amps up what Saw 1 was, I guess, on paper was feeding the audience. It was just like, hey guys, you want to see someone fucking cut their foot off, but not really. Like Saw 2 is like, all right, let's fucking amp this up.
Right.
The twist of Saw 2, I actually enjoy all of the twists in these movies. Like I'm not gonna fucking sugarcoat it. Like I think
I think they're actually pretty well, for the most part, pretty well pulled off. Saw 2 has a twist where basically it's Donnie Wahlberg, and like he's looking for his son that Jigsaw's kidnapped,
Hmm.
and it turns out like he's interrogating Jigsaw in like his office, and it turns out the son is in like a safe like right behind him the entire time, which is pretty cool. Like again, I enjoy it.
I think I remember that. Is that you said that was in 2?
That's in 2, yeah.
That
Uh,
sounds familiar.
I'm about to probably just go through and ruin all of these, by the way. So just Saw 3, Saw 3. I can't fucking remember that one. That one's I don't know. Saw 4. I don't know. Again, I don't fucking know. There's one where like there's a cop where like it turns out he's like a disciple of the Jigsaw killer, and like
Of
he's been
course.
working. Yeah, he's been working. But one of my favorite twists, and I think it's a Saw 6, might have been before number 5. Basically you have a group of like people who find themselves like in like a warehouse or something. They have to go through each of these traps, and by the end of it there's only like 2 people left. But the twist is, if they had worked together in all of these traps instead of like being like each man for himself, everyone
Right.
would have survived. like
That's
it's
shitty.
just like
That sucks.
that's exactly, it's a shitty like it's a shitty thing to put on these like fucking people, but it's such an effective twist, dude. I'm just like, damn, I was not expecting that from this movie. But yeah, there
Mm.
you go. But yeah, there is no twist that can beat John Kramer just fucking lying there, getting up, and like just like Lee Wanell fucking reaching out and screaming his head off,
Yeah,
and
that
then him
that
just being like, "Game over," shuts the door. I'm like,
yeah.
damn, all right,
That's
cool.
that's Lee Wanell's best part, and like watching that, he really sells the shit out of it. For
He
someone who's
does.
like, I think he's an actor, not first and foremost. He seems to be writer and director, and he can act. And he
Right, the
definitely is
credits
an
say
actor. But,
introducing Lee Wanell.
right, yeah. So I'm like, okay, so I mean, for this to be your first gig, like, I just think if I were a first time filmmaker and writer and director, and I was starring in it, which I'm sure, I know he's not directing or whatever, but I'm sure he has input on that, just as James Wan has input on like writing and stuff, because they're a team. And I'm thinking like, how would I feel if this were my first time out? And it's like, yeah, I would feel fucking awesome. I don't want to grade it on a curve and be like kind of pandering to it, because the first one, yeah, like you said, it doesn't deserve the reputation that it gets, and it's a solid flick. It's got a good runtime. It's like you said, it's got a great twist. There's kind of for what they're able to do with it too. I think that when you take into consideration all those factors of like, it's a $1 million budget, you still got A-listers, you have great special effects, you have twists, you have really really awesome shit, and I think that's why like I want to like it. I'm so close, but I was like, man, maybe it's just I didn't see it. Maybe I didn't see it soon enough. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe it was ruined for me. One coming out every year.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Like, I think if you come to this movie after the fact, after the after the fact that this has become a global franchise, and like there's so many of them and people talk about it all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that like coming to it in hindsight would really damage your experience. I think, but like putting yourself in the shoes of like someone watching this for the first time. I remember being in, I think in 6th grade, might have been 5th grade when this movie came out, and there was a newspaper on like the counter at home, and it was like talking about the Saw movie. And I remember reading it and it being like, I just remember like forming this picture in my head, like as you're reading, like as I was reading the newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it being the most grisliest movie, like the most fucking taboo thing on the planet. Like the newspaper article talked about like severed limbs and just this feeling of like psychotic breakdown.
Right.
And like when you're a kid and you're reading that stuff, you just eventually start to picture it in your mind. And then when you eventually watch the movie, you're just like, oh, it's quaint. that's
Right, yeah.
That's a quaint movie. Another thing that I really want to talk about is the music. Charlie Clouser is the composer. He worked with Trent Reznor for Nine Inch Nails.
Oh, nice.
which-
That's awesome.
which is a fucking get if you think about it, dude. Like, I mean,
Oh hell yeah.
if your first movie, Charlie Clouser does a theme, and not only that, but like creates one of the most iconic themes in movie history. Like, I mean, that theme at the end of this movie, dude. Like, if you played that out of context with someone,
Right,
know that
yeah,
it's from
you could
Saw.
recognize it. Yeah.
100%, and it's fucking awesome, dude. I love that theme at the end. It's called Zepp's theme, with the violins. Ugh, it's awesome. It's good stuff. But yeah, look, I'm not planning on covering this movie. I guess scene by scene. There's just, I mean, look,
Yeah.
it's two guys trapped in a bathroom with flashbacks and a detective story happening in the background. So let's just kind of talk broad strokes. What do you say we get into it?
Yeah, that's cool. Maybe.
Yeah, sweet. All right, Adam and I already fucking forgot his name. Gordon.
You fucking idiot.
Oh shit! Adam and Dr. Gordon wake up in this bathroom, dude. This place looks like shit.
Yeah, this place is this is one of them. You can see where they put a lot of like creativity and money into this, where it's like it's like just dirt, just the essence of dirty, grimy. Oh, dude! I think there's something too about it being. It just feels like a giant bathroom, and bathrooms were just like you wouldn't roll around on a floor on a bathroom, you know, like. Ugh.
Yeah, there's something. I mean, like, I mean, other than the fact that fucking Adam plunges his hand into a toilet, like a full toilet, dude. Like, you know, there is a whole element of like, if I didn't have the issue of I need to cut my leg off to escape, it's the issue of if I touch this thing, I'm gonna get hepatitis. Like, you know,
right? Yeah, you're like, I mean, fuck. I mean, if I chop my foot off, this hepatitis is so strong, I don't even know if I'll make it out the door. Just starts rotting the flesh off your legs. It's like that dude from Looper. He just starts looking down and shit's missing from him. You got the hip, son.
Right. We got the tapes. Both of them have tapes. Dude, I love, like, Adam's one is just like, you can go ahead and defend yourself. And Gordon's one is like, kill that motherfucker.
Right, yeah. I just wanted one of them to put it in, and he presses play and it's like, Party Rock is in the house tonight. And he's like, and just Carrie always kind of looking around like, fuck. Everybody just have a good time.
You know what? Scary Movie did do a send up of this scene. Did
really?
You see? Yeah. So Scary Movie 4 opens with this scene. So it opens with, of all people, Shaquille O'Neal and Dr. Phil in this sequence. And Shaquille O'Neal needs to make a free throw with a giant boulder into a basketball, and he just keeps missing it. He keeps missing it. And Dr. Phil's like, fuck this, I'm just going to cut my leg off. And he cuts his foot off, and he holds it up. He's like, I'm out, I'm free. Shaquille O'Neal holds up his fucking finger, and he's like, wrong foot.
Yeah, I have seen that. I remember that now. And he's like, God damn it. Like, you look down. That's fucking funny.
Dude, it's so good. Like, just like Shaq waking up and being like, where am I? And you like, in the shadows, dude, is Dr. Phil's voice. You're not dead. You've just been taken against your will. Oh, shit.
I want you to look inside yourself and tell me what you see.
Right, exactly.
He says some crazy shit. Well, there might be 2 roosters in the chicken, but that don't mean there's cream in this butter. You know, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, he just says crazy shit, man.
Right, exactly. We meet these 2 detectives played by Ken Leung, who's been in a few things as well. He's also in
I love
Lost.
this guy.
Yeah, he's also in X-Men The Last Stand. He's been in a bunch of things. And Detective Tap and Sing. Interesting names. Played by Danny Glover.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Sing like, oh, and tap, like tap dancing. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, I was thinking like tap as in like tap water, but okay.
There you
go. But basically we kind of like, we're introduced to the killer via these 3 different like traps. It's sort of like a montage.
Yeah.
Which
I did enjoy this. This was done very well.
Well, yeah, because it was like, you know, every time you look back at this movie, you're just like, oh, it's very light on the gore, the horror. Like, you know, there's only one trap. It's just the bathroom. But it's like, no, dude. Like, you know, in this very like quick amount of time, you're introduced to the depravity of the Jigsaw Killer, and like, you know, like there's situations that he puts these people in. There's obviously this fat guy first who has to walk through the barbed wire, and they discover the jigsaw piece. There's also this guy with the broken glass and the smeared sort of like stuff all over his body.
Jelly, whatever.
Yeah, the really like flammable substance. That shit was wild, dude. Like I was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
And I believe there was a third one, wasn't there? Oh, Amanda's one.
Right. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
reverse
The head
bear
cage
trap.
thing.
Yeah. So that's the one that became the iconic kind of like poster
Right.
child for this movie.
What's the one where she got to cut her eye out to get the key?
Yeah, so that's the opening of the second one. So the second one.
Okay, so I've seen the second one. That's why I keep referencing this. Okay.
Yeah, the second one is a guy. He's in the same exact trap, and he's got the key behind his eye, and he needs to wedge his eye out to be able to get the key, and he doesn't. He doesn't do it. It goes off, and I'm just like, dude, you can fucking lose an eye. Like, I mean, you can lose an eye. Like, it's fine.
Right? Yeah.
You know, it's not fine.
Her thing,
obviously, you know, whatever.
Like her thing. I mean, I like watching what everybody else had to do. Like this guy had to walk through barbed wire. This guy was like gonna, burnt up. This guy's got to cut his feet off, and it's like she had to like just go into a guy's stomach, and it's like you didn't have to hurt yourself at all, which is strange to me.
I'm wondering if it's done by design. Now that you mention it, because yes, it's a relatively easy sort of like trap to get out of. I mean, like it's not easy to kill a guy, but like, by the way, when he wakes up, when he wakes up, dude, like he takes that breath, it's like, oh fuck, okay, well, this is
right.
All right, the stakes are different now. I wonder if it's by design because at the end of the second movie, it's revealed that she's his disciple.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, like she is. She's been working for him. Basically, she believes that he saved her from addiction and drugs and everything, and she's very thankful for that stuff like that. Sucks his dick and stuff.
Well, and Carrie, I mean, doesn't Carrie always end up becoming like a whole part of this thing, and he's walking with a cane now and shit?
Yeah. So I think it's the final scene of the final chapter, which is the last movie in the mainline series. This is, dude. You need to understand.
It's like the third to last one now.
Exactly. Yeah, you need to understand, man. Like the timeline of this series is so convoluted, like unbelievably convoluted.
Right.
Like there are things set before the events of this particular movie, and after, and in between, and during, and holy shit, man! Like eventually you start to lose like clarity on it. That's why I enjoy the kind of like relatively straightforward nature of this movie.
Yeah,
it's really easy to follow.
And it's not weighted down by a mythology and stuff that they have to keep together,
Yeah, it's really easy to follow. We get this like very brief scene with Dr. Gordon like showing around these interns, and on the bed is actually Tobin Bell, who plays Jigsaw.
Yeah, dude, that guy, he's the guy that when they're counting money out in the lobby and it's Jimmy's parole officer, he's like, right here, and he's in Goodfellas.
Oh, is he? Okay, because he's definitely in The Sopranos. Have you seen him in The Sopranos?
I haven't seen him in that yet. I've only watched like the first season of Sopranos, but and Seinfeld, he's the guy who buys the records from Newman and Kramer. And he's like, I despise you. And every time I caught him, I was like, dude, that's fucking Saul. And I was like, oh, cool. And I've always liked him, though. He's a very good actor.
Yeah.
Like he really sells his performances.
He is consistently great in all of these movies that he's in them.
I bet.
Dude, he is like his voice, his actual like mannerisms, like he is so good. Like the thing is, though, he dies at the end of the third movie. So like, the other sequels struggle to find reasons to bring him back because they know how good he is, right? Like they're always just like,
sure,
Tobin Bell is such a good like part. We need to keep bringing him back, and he just keeps coming back in like flashbacks and stuff. This I didn't, it took this this watch to notice as he's walking away from these interns, the Asian one like looks at him for a little long, and I'm just like, oh.
Oh, right away she had the fuck eyes.
Yeah, she had the
fuck eyes.
And I'm just like, oh, fuck, because it's not in focus. Like, they don't focus on her. Like, it's just like, oh, okay, cool. All right, that's nice. That's awesome.
I gotta say, there's one part I fucking laughed my ass off at is when they're questioning her, and they're like,
questioning Amanda.
Was it Jenny? Amanda. And they're talking. I don't know where Jenny came from. Jenny, who can I turn to? The thing that made me laugh is Danny Glover's talking to her, and he's like, was he right? Was her name Amanda? I think you just said it.
Amanda.
he was like, was he right, Amanda? Are you a drug addict? And I was like, you can't fucking ask her that.
Well,
That's not what you're here for.
I'm also like really confused because I'm just like, is he interrogating her because this just happened, or like, is she a voluntary, like, is she
Right,
here
is she wanting,
voluntarily? Like,
yeah.
I don't know what this is. Like, why are you here? On what basis?
They just happened to pick her up. I mean, if I were, yes, obviously, I mean, she's not under arrest, or I mean, she might be, but if you caught somebody who you thought was, I'd be like, yeah, fucking call that motherfucker up, dude. We need a positive ID.
Right. We get to Amanda's kind of test, and I just want to talk about this really briefly, because something that really drives me insane about these movies, and less so this one, but this one's understandable because of the budget, is the editing. So when they hear the instructions and they've got, like, you know, however long to get out of these traps, the editing in these movies, dude, is like this really sped up, super cut, like, thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and like,
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
understand it for this movie because of the budget. And I like this one with Amanda, like, where it's just like, you know, her kind of like struggling, and like the camera's like, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I know. I'm looking at your face. I don't mind this one. It's there is a moment in the sequel, dude, where I thought last night I was gonna have an epileptic fit. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I was
Yeah.
just like, can we stop? This is going for way too long. This is going for way too long.
I liked it at first, like seeing her, you know, with the head thing, and it was like, oh, that's what I thought of this one, and I was like, dude, like, you know, it does this and does it very well as Fury Road. Like, they pick those certain moments to speed up,
yeah.
and it looks really cool. And the whole like franchise, I mean, I think they do that in a few other ones as well. But this, just the revolving, and it just kept, I was like, okay, dude, we get it. Like, I feel like you're wasting time. The thing's clicking, and she's like, and I'm like, dude, come on, man, you gotta fucking, like, I'm getting anxiety, dude. I mean, it's not just like the most off-putting thing in the world, you know, but I was like, I could do with a little less.
It's not off-putting in this one. In the sequels, dude, it's ramped up by a million. One thing that I really wanted to talk about is the traps themselves. And I was listening to an interview with Darren Lynn Bousman. He was on a podcast recently because he was talking about Spiral. And he's like, for the movies that I directed, so Saw 2, 3, and 4, I wanted the traps to be made out of things that any Joe Blow could go down to any hardware store and buy. So, like, you know, like, it was like actual physical things that anyone could build, because that's scary. That's actually pretty terrifying. That, like, you know, like, everyday things can be turned into super violent Home Alone devices.
Yeah, right. There's like a weird theory that he is like Kevin McAllister all grown up. I was like, that's fucking funny. I subscribe to some of those. They're pretty funny.
Hilarious.
Some of those theories.
In this interview, dude, like, he actually calls out the movie Jigsaw, like, which is the second last movie, and he's like, with Jigsaw, I mean, the traps were made out of lasers and shit, and it's just like, no, like, come on, dude, like, you're going too far there, because you're also just stretching the believability of this. Like, it's just like,
right,
once there's lasers in it, it's just not fun anymore. Like, you know, it's just not.
Yeah. It becomes like it's like 13 ghosts, and there's like traps all around, and it's got man. It's like, oh, okay, come on, dude.
Right, exactly. Basically, we see Zepp kidnap the entire like the Gordon family. Dude, you can really start to see James Wan's sort of like skill that would eventually become apparent in Conjuring and Insidious. When the little girl is looking up into the darkness, dude, I'm just like, oh, fuck. Like, you can see.
Which, I mean, they basically do that with what's her name from what's it, Joey King. She's the daughter
in Conjuring.
She's in that Hulu. Yeah, she's in that Hulu show with like Patricia Arquette. I
just finished it. We were talking about this on upcoming attractions.
Oh, really?
Literally last week. The Act. Yeah, really good.
Okay, I need to watch that.
Because
I think Joey King is like...
I've never heard of Dee Dee Blanchard at all before, or like Gypsy Blanchard. So I was like, fuck, okay.
Yeah, dude. You know, I just Joey King is like probably one of the best like young actors working right now.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you're fucking phenomenal, man. Like, I remember sitting in the theater watching The Conjuring and being kind of okay with it. And when her part came on and she was like, that thing said it wants to kill my family. and she's like fucking crying through it. And I was like, dude, I remember looking at Lindsay and being like, that fucking kid can act like a motherfucker. It just made me like sad and scared at the same time. And I was like, fuck, this little motherfucker can act.
Right, exactly.
But
yeah, you
I
gotta
don't know
watch.
how we got off on.
You gotta watch
like
the
that.
act. Watch the act. It's really good.
I will. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah.
I need a new TV show.
Yeah, it's only 8 episodes, and it's pretty riveting. I think. We finished it. We finished it in 2 nights, dude. Like 4 episodes one night, 4 episodes the other. So fucking good. The next thing I kind of want to talk about is Tappan Singh's kind of like 2-man incursion into the lair, and
Right.
I'm always just like intrigued or like kind of blown away whenever movies do the "we don't need a warrant" situation.
Right.
Because like what are you expecting to do afterwards? Like what are you like when you bag and tag the bad guy? Like
Right.
it's going to be an unjustified killing, A, because you shouldn't have been here. And
Right.
B, if you arrest him, none of this is admissible.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Fucking kill him. You know, there's no way. If you, I get like if this had been a guy he was hunting for a long time,
But there's no
and I
probable
think they're
cause.
kind of
You need probable cause to be able to
Oh yeah,
define your
100%.
situation.
Like legally, you are 1,000%
like
correct. Like I
Seven.
just
like remember we talked about Seven, right? Like Seven covers this.
Uh-huh.
Seven's like, oh fuck, we used well, like they get that FBI contact and like they find the books that he was checking out, right? So they end up at his apartment.
Uh-huh.
And Morgan Freeman's like, you know what, we shouldn't have been here. Like how are we going to explain this? And they pay some some
lady.
druggie downstairs to be like, yeah, I saw him go in there. So
Yeah.
like that explains it, but this is just like, movies do this all the time where it's like, yeah, fuck the warrant. Like,
Yeah, right. And I think that it helped. I mean, it obviously helps with writing, probably. It just seems like, wow, we got a problem. Fuck it. We're cops. Let's just go do it anyways, But yeah, it did. I think I would buy that a little bit more if he had been hunting this guy for like years. But all these murders seem like really recent.
Really
and I'm
recent,
sure that, I mean, right. And I'm not saying that he still can't become obsessed in a small amount of time, but I was more picturing like a Moby Dick kind of Ahab white whale kind of situation. But I was like, well, it doesn't really feel like this is that lived in. You know?
Tap's like, I just discovered Jigsaw like yesterday and I already have my throat cut and
Yeah.
But this seems pretty wild actually, with the drills, and then it ends with Singh's kind of like death with the shotguns. The tripwire.
That sucks. I like him.
Yeah, I liked him, and that is a wild death, by the way. Like that's shot really, really well, because you never see Singh's face; you just see the blood coming down his torso. I'm just like, damn, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's super gnarly. I do like that one too.
We end up with our boys, our guys. Basically, we find out that Gordon was hitting that, right?
Yeah, our bathroom buddies.
Yeah, he was hitting that. They eventually start to develop memories. Basically, dude, I love Carrie Always is so cheesy. And I was walking back to my car, and
oh, dude. That's what's in some parts of this movie are just like, man, I think Lee Whannell, dude, you're a first time actor. Cut him some slack, like he does a great dude for his screen. No, at the end,
so
like, dude, that's
with the music
bone
and
chilling.
everything. Oh, it's brilliant.
He does such a fucking good job. Carrie always has some parts where I'm like, dude, obviously you probably didn't get paid much for your time, maybe that's just how he was into it. Danny Glover's pretty cool. I think everybody else is really, even dude, the Gordon's daughter really sells that shit.
Dude,
like when
100%.
she's screaming, dude, it scared the fuck out of me.
When Michael Emerson's like showing the gun, like he's got the gun like with the heartbeat.
It's disturbing.
It's
her yelling is disturbing.
So disturbing.
That was just how effective that was. It's like, dude, good fucking job.
And
man.
like I was wondering, like watching it this time around, I was like, he's got a mental problem, right? Because he's not the killer. He's just kind of like wanting to see what this does to this little girl, like with the gun.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's just that's just like a little flourish to. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. I didn't think about that. That it's like this is just extra. I don't have to do this, but I want to do this. That's weird.
Yeah. They develop the ploy with the cigarette and the poison. They turn the light off, and
Is the poison in the cigarette?
the poison's in the blood.
In their blood?
No.
Okay,
in
gotcha.
the blood of the guy lying beneath, like lying,
okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
That's
I
why-
missed that part. Okay.
That's why he dips the cigarette in the blood.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I must have looked away. Honestly, I did not.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't remember that.
There's
I
two
must have looked right
cigarettes.
away.
The one that he gives to him afterwards, after he does that, because he turns the lights off, he whispers it to him. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna
Right.
try and like dupe this guy." I love Adam's performance here with the like as he's like choking out and shit. It's just so over the top. It's so good, dude. I'm always interested to see actors act in movies. Like it's always
Right.
It's always
Try to
funny.
act without acting.
Right. It's good stuff. We find out that Adam's been watching Gordon, basically. We see him get kidnapped. Oh, dude, that pig mask is gnarly as well. That's fucking
Hell yeah.
terrifying. Terrifying.
I have one, or I gave it to my brother.
Why? Yeah.
I have one exactly like that, and it's like a giant. It's like Scarecrow. It's like a cloth with like stitching, but it's a pig's head that you put on. I have a picture of me wearing a big ass Brother Bear apparel hoodie with the hood up on it, and it's like a pig mask to it, and it's fucking terrifying, dude.
I'm good. I'm good, thanks.
I'm
If you want to
good.
post it in the green room, fucking go for it. But I'm good. I'll pass. But the time runs out, and this is when shit gets wild, right? So the phone rings. It's the wife. She gets into a struggle with Zepp. Manages to
Mhm.
overpower him, right? And in walks Detective Tapp. Again, like this is all kind of like, whatever. It is what it is. There is a hilarious laugh out loud moment here when Carrie always picks up the phone and he's like, let them go, you bastard. And then he's like, Allie. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Oh, dude, yes. He's like, Hallie?
Allie?
Like, dude, I fucking
Me and
burst
my
out
brother,
laughing. I was like,
me and my brother to this day still sometimes say Allie because it's our last name, obviously, right? So it's just like, it's just something we say to each other. It's just fucking hilarious, dude. It's
how often does somebody pronounce your last name Allie? Somebody actually goes, oh, have Allie?
So it's not the last name that gets mispronounced. I mean, obviously the first name gets mispronounced all the time, but sometimes people think that my last name is my first name, so they'll just call me Ali, and I'm just like, no, sorry, sorry.
Nice try.
Good try, maybe next time. But like whenever I go to like Starbucks or a coffee, I always say, yeah, my name's Ali, because like, I mean, Zoheb I have to spell out and shit for them, whereas like Ali is just like 3 letters. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Man, I thought I had it bad when I'm like, yeah, it's Colin with 2 L's. that's about to the fucking extent. I get people with colon, and I might have bitched about
That's
this before, but I'm like, colon? That isn't fucking like. I guess technically with 1 L, it does look like colon. I get that, but like colon, that shouldn't be a name. Don't name kids colon.
No one names their child Colin. That's something else.
And here's the thing that fucking pisses me off about that real quick. Because the name Colin has been around for like, Colin Powell, Secretary of Defense, for a long time.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Colin was like, it wasn't like all of a sudden the name Colin became like, oh, that's a new word for your asshole. It's always been colon.
It's always been a thing.
That's the thing that I don't understand. That'd be like naming your kid penis or like thyroid gland. And it's like, what the fuck? It's been that thing forever. It's not like all of a sudden it was like, oh yeah, we named him Peter and we got fucked on that one, like
Hi, my name is
Dick or something.
My name is Thyroid Gland Ali.
Dude, that sounds like a awesome wrestler, like Thyroid Ali.
And still.
And still heavyweight champion of the world.
Right. They chase each other to this warehouse again. This is they shook the car. They had it on a soundstage. They had like fog machines. Again, super low budget.
God bless him.
Super
God
low
bless
budget.
him.
I know, right?
You know what though? I bought it, and it didn't take me out of it. I noticed it was a little but like it didn't take me out of it at all. I think they did a fine job.
Well, here's the thing. They've already kind of like established this whole kind of like frenetic editing and frenetic style. So like it fits with the movie. Like there's
Mhm.
no kind of like, because we talked about that scene with Amanda when she's like freaking out and the camera's going crazy. Like they've already set that up and established it. So if this scene came out of nowhere and we see this like hard cutting, like zooming in and stuff, it'd be like, what the fuck? Why is that happening? But they've already set it up, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and I love the lighting of them running around, the sewers and stuff like that,
Oh, yeah.
the tunnels, I guess, when they're on their foot chase. It's like very militant green, like kind of color.
Mm.
Um,
Well, I mean, the next movie, the director Bousman fucking amps that up by a million. It looks like it was shot through a sepia tone, dude. It looks
oh, really?
it looks disgusting, and I think that's the feeling it's supposed to evoke. Because like the whole movie they're in this house and they're like kind of like inhaling this gas, and throughout the movie
Mhm.
they're kind of coughing, and like it's supposed to invoke that feeling. But like, man, like like if you overdo it for me, it's just like ugh, yuck.
And again, what is the guy's name who plays Zepp?
Michael Emerson.
Michael Emerson. He was Joker in Dark Knight Returns.
Yes, he
the
was.
animated.
Yes, he was. I think I
He
brought it up
did
on that
he
episode.
did a great
too.
job.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I really enjoy Michael Emerson. He needs to be in more things, dude. He is my MVP for Lost. Like that
Mhm.
movie, that show is full of great characters, but he's my MVP. He's so fucking good in that. All right, and then we get to the leg cut, of which
Mhm.
surprisingly little is shown. Right? I mean,
Dude, I mean, basically nothing.
basically,
I mean,
you get the first kind of like a couple of cuts, and that's it, right?
right?
Theater
Yeah,
of
and that
the
even
mind.
kind of bummed me out. I was like,
Theater of the mind.
I could use just one quick, like even if it was a second long flash, or just that thing halfway down his fucking ankle, just to go like, oh
You
fuck,
fucking
just to see it.
sadist. You
Just to look
goddamn
away, man.
sadist.
You know what I mean? A shot like From Dusk Till Dawn when George Clooney's staring at the woman
Yeah,
and it just like
yeah.
flashes. Like, dude, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
But I'd love his makeup though. Once he cuts this,
Oof.
once he gets rid of this fucking dude, he does. It's like, dude, I'm getting like nauseous, kind of like looking at him. You just the blood loss makes me like,
Right, totally, dude. It's really well done. So he crawls away, and Zepp enters. So did they like not pass each other in the hallway or anything? There's just like, oh wait, no, wait, no, hold on. Sorry, I
no,
messed it
Zepp
up.
gets killed.
Yes, Zepp gets killed right here. That's my bad. But
I was like, wait a minute. See, this is one of those things that happens. So I messaged you before we recorded. And it's like, hey, how long is your version of this? Because I was terrified there was going to be some weird ratings thing in Australia and yours was going to end with them all playing like hopscotch or something. And I was like, okay, well, what the fuck is going to happen? I know the American version will be like,
if anything.
It'll be like the American version with 8 times more of the supersized blood and gore, 2.5
They've
hour
just got
long
like a
cut.
big gulp. Like they wake up with like
Yeah.
this giant fucking thing.
Saw 2004, the Snyder cut. Just this like 4 hour long.
4 hour long thing. Yeah. But no, Gordon shoots Adam, right? And
Mhm.
like this is
How did I not fucking kill him? Because he jumps on Zed. Like, man, I thought he was for sure fucking dead. He blows him away and shoots him with the chest and a revolver.
He does, and like the shot and the wound, I feel like they're not consistent because like I feel like he hits him in the belly, but the wound
Really?
is like above his shoulder.
Yeah, it's like it comes out like on the opposite side of his heart,
Yes,
on the other side of his chest. And I was like,
which probably would be the best place to shoot him other than the leg.
right. Well, I mean, I guess so. I mean, other than getting shot like maybe up through the collarbone or something, but he gets shot like in the fucking peck.
in the
And it's
peck.
like, like Jesus, dude, that's just with that revolver too. I'm like, God damn, man.
Dude, Zepp's death? Fuck.
Great. I fucking called. I was
Holy
like, dude,
fuck.
there's a toilet right there. If nobody gets their brains bashed in with the toilet, with the top of that thing, I will be so fucking pissed. They put like a
fucking good, dude. So effective. And obviously this like
love the shooting of it.
Yeah.
With him like up on 1L. Yeah, it's great.
100%. And like again, 1L. This is where 1L's acting really comes into it, dude. As he's swinging this thing, he throws it down. Like, he's going way too far. Gordon's like, stop. And he like collapses into Gordon. Gordon's like, I have to go get help. Gordon crawls away. And that's when Adam finds the tape. And this is when we start to get Zepp's theme. We find out that Zepp was merely a pawn in this. He himself is someone who's fucked up. And this is his test. He's being tested as well.
Well, and it sucks because he's a really nice guy to John, you know, and he even kind of corrects Gordon, and he's like, his name's John, you know, not the patient. It's John.
He actually said
dude.
he actually says he's a fascinating man. He's a fascinating patient.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what he deemed, you know, worthy to put him through this. That sucks, you know. I don't like that. You know what? I was with you when you were ripping people's heads off backwards and showing them the horrors that no man has ever seen. You start being rude and killing people that are nice to you. It's just not going to sit well with me, young man. You go to your room and think about what you did. You know,
Well,
just give him like a talk.
We can briefly, because we're running over time now, we can briefly get into the moral dilemma of Jigsaw's kind of like, I guess, MO, right? I mean, because like his whole thing is to put these people in situations like they've done something bad in their life, or I think the whole mantra is like you were given something that you were not appreciative of, and I'm going to show you why you should appreciate it. I think that's his whole thing. So like, and like he claims in this movie he claims that he's never killed anyone, or someone claims that he never killed anyone. In the second one, he outright says, "Yeah, I never killed anyone." And then Donnie Wahlberg's character says, "Hey, man, if you give them the gun and force them to pull the trigger, that's that's murder."
Right.
And I 100% agree. Like, I mean, you know where I fucking fall on this. We talked about this in another movie, another podcast. I can't remember which one it is. If you put them in the situation, it's not like Batman, right? It's not like, you know, I don't have to kill you, but I have to save you. That's murder. I'm sorry. Like the omission is also murder. Like, it is. It doesn't always have to be that whole kind of like, you know, I physically pull the trigger. Like the act, like in New South Wales law, the act or omission is that act, technically.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. There you have it.
I just, you know, I wonder. It's kind of like who made you judge and jury and executioner, you know.
Yeah.
And I think there is something interesting in there, but I wonder, you know, I think they probably should have just stopped after the third one. And I think I do remember actually liking the second one. And this is interesting. The shot of him standing up is just fucking ridiculously like good God, dude. Even now, but it's blurry.
Yeah. It's not like this big kind of like shot. He just you just see this mass get up from the back, and it's like, whoa.
Well, and it's the reaction when you see Lee Whannell, just his mouth go,
yeah,
and he just kind of looks over and slowly moves his head. And it's like fucking shit. But yeah, I just, you know, I wonder about that. Like you said, with the morality of him, of what exactly. One thing I thought would be interesting is if they did kind of like that. Spoilers for the movie The Invitation. But if they did something like The Invitation, where it was like Jigsaw is like, now I want you to become a Jigsaw and go do this and find people to make them grateful, and it becomes like a pandemic, and it's like a social thing, and people start doing it to each other and shit. And it's like, I'd love to see that. Like if he's like, just to make people really appreciative of life, like if it spread like a cult kind of. Well, I don't know, maybe does that fucking happen?
He does, yeah, to a degree. I mean, with Amanda, number one, like
right. That's what I was saying. Like multiply that. And I think that'd be a really interesting concept.
Detective Hoffman for sure, because there's another detective who, like, I think in 4, 5, and 6, and 7, like those movies are led by Detective Hoffman, who becomes the main kind of like perpetrator. But I think he is being blackmailed rather than being believed into kind of like his whole morality. Like I think he's like, you need to do this or I'm going to release this information. And Gordon ends up being a disciple in the last one. Yeah.
I think that's kind of interesting. I wish it was like, you know, like The Invitation, when you look out and there's just people doing it everywhere. Right. It's like, fuck, that's really crazy.
Well, Spiral as well. Spoilers for Spiral here. Are you going to watch Spiral? Should I just...
Probably not.
Okay.
No.
So Spiral is interesting because it's supposed to be like a soft reboot, yet it's directed by the guy who did 2, 3, and 4. So it's kind of like got that like feeling of it. Spiral is more of a detective story. It's less so a horror movie. And Chris Rock is the detective. His father's played by Samuel L. Jackson. Basically, Samuel L. Jackson was this corrupt cop back in the day when he was chief. And there was this murder of a guy that was covered up, and Chris Rock ended up blowing the whistle on him. And the guy that was murdered was the father of. This is so convoluted. I hate this movie, by the way. I hate Spiral.
I heard that.
Yeah, the father was sorry. The guy who got murdered was the father of Chris Rock's future partner. Think about that.
Okay, so his police partner.
Yes, and this guy worked
Okay.
his way up through the ranks to become a detective to get back at Chris Rock and the department and the police for their corruption. I can see.
Okay.
But basically, it's
You know what that is? You know what that is? That is the long con.
Yeah.
The longest fucking
you spend your
con.
entire life. No, I'm sorry. Like, no.
Yeah. At what point do you just like, no, this is just who I am now? You know,
Right, exactly.
I fucking got over it. You know,
Exactly. That movie's problematic, dude. Like, I was talking about it. I was just like, I don't love that it uses like a social issue as big as like, you know, police brutality against African Americans and doesn't do anything with it. It ends with a police shooting and killing Samuel L. Jackson like forcefully, and that it just ends, and it's just like, that felt a little gross.
The only thing I was interested in is it visually it looked really cool. Like I was like, this looks like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I was like, there's shots of this that are like, whoa, this looks really fucking
visually
cool.
looks really great. Yeah, it looks fantastic because the budget is. I was looking it up. I was looking up all of the budgets for these movies. They never before Spiral, they never go past 2 million, and they always earn 200 million plus. Spiral is
very profitable.
Spiral is 10 million. They amped it up quite a bit. And then we get the ending, dude. Like, let's talk about this twist ending. So, imagine the feeling of being told, "Hey, the key was in that bathtub."
Yeah, I thought there was something up. There was a couple of things that Lee Whannell does really well. And I mean, obviously, the thing pulling up out of the tub, they showed that, or James Wan, directing showed that. And I was like, why are they kind of lingering on that? That was weird. And then when Lee Whannell has the pictures in the bag and he throws the bag in the tub and he just kind of looks at Carrie Elways and looks back. And I was like, that sneaky motherfucker, something's going on. But I loved Lee Whannell in that moment. Yeah, that's kind of him in the bathtub is like, oh, man. That's so I would have been ripping the fucking tub out trying to get
literally
to the
through the pipe.
My thing was like he's got a gun now, from Michael Emerson. So like, why don't you just blow the fucking lock off your chain? Like, just turn around and fucking shoot that thing. I guess once he's locked in there, it's fucked. It doesn't matter. You're dead.
Yeah.
But
in the sequel, you find out that well, I mean, like you don't find out, but you see his like rotting corpse.
Oh, I mean, I guess you could just shoot yourself in the head too,
Mm-hmm.
once you got to a point, or play possum and wait for him to come back and blow his brains out or something like that.
Were there bullets in Michael Emerson's gun?
I guess
Probably,
so.
right?
Because
did he never ran it?
No, in fact, there's one part where he drops the clip and he's like Diane or something, and he reloads the gun.
But after that, because he gets in the gunfight with Tap in the sewer before they get there, right?
Yeah, I don't know. He's probably got maybe one or two left in there, I guess. Yeah. But enough to fucking kill yourself with, or
just bludgeon yourself.
Fucking end it, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh god.
Well, that's Saw, dude.
Thank God.
That's Saw.
No, I'm just kidding. Look, it's okay. I enjoy it. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but it's not something that I really feel the need to come back and, another thing I judge this on is kind of like rewatchability. There's really not a big rewatchability factor.
That's why I came to this after 10 years.
Right. Yeah. I do think, for the money that they spent, for them being so young, this is a very, very good first outing and surely has a lot of promise. I'm thinking of like Lee Whannell doing Upgrade, and I mean, goddamn, Upgrade is just so fucking good. And now James Wan, doing Aquaman, not Aquaman, it's Aquaman. And what's the letter that comes after G?
H.
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 Do you say helicopter or do you say helicopter?
I say helicopter. Just a fucking.
You know what?
No,
because
but
I have the same conversation with Steph. No, I have the same conversation. She says H. And I say H.
Yeah.
No, it's
because she's a dignified woman of the world.
No, it's helicopter. It's hungry. Like, not hungry. What the fuck is that?
There's still an H. I ain't.
No,
fuck.
no,
We're going to be here all day.
It's not there. You fucking played yourself. Congratulations.
All right. It's like, how do you say the foil that you put on food.
Oh,
Silver
you
and
say
shiny.
aluminum. We say aluminium.
Aluminium, yeah. There's actually a great Biffy Clyro song. It's like, I pronounce it aluminium because there's an I next to the UNN. They're a Scottish band. No, I enjoyed this movie, man. You know, I'm not going to judge. I think that's one thing too. People get fucking judgy pricks about horror movies sometimes. People can get real. There's like a real kind of, I think, kind of looking down your
Is it a
nose at people
horror
kind
or
of
is it a
culture.
thriller or is it like, yeah, you know, like the
Right.
whole
Or,
thing?
you know, I think that, well, it's also just, it's just torture porn. It's like, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
The first one's actually really interesting, and that twist is good. Maybe the editing is a little weird sometimes for me, and maybe the performances aren't so great, but it's a solid script. Visually, it does very well. And, you know, the thing is, it's gory without even really trying to be gory. It's the theater of the mind stuff, like you were saying. It's the implied kind of stuff. You know, I think that there is even something charming about the low budget kind of feel of it. There's something really interesting about that. And I love lower budget movies. One of my favorite, like, dude, Shot for $100,000 is Man from Earth. Fucking will always champion that
Yeah,
movie.
you
It's one of
mentioned
my
that.
favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking for like $100,000. But you know, there's a charm to those kind of movies, and I think that definitely comes across in this. You know, and given what they had, dude, with the people that you pulled down, the success that it spawned, you know, you just, even if you don't personally enjoy the film, you have to respect what that film did. And you know, then it spawns like torture porn and Hostel, and it spawns a lot of imitators. And I think that if it's spawning that many imitators, there's got to be something good
Right.
in there, undeniably.
No, totally. I totally echo your thoughts, dude. I think the originality of this movie, and you know what, dude? If there was a one word takeaway from this, it's ambition. Like you can feel Lee Whannell's ambition and James Wan's
True.
ambition, dude,
Mhm.
like to make this movie and to like make something for themselves. Because that's what this feels like. This feels like two guys who, you know, wrote and developed this movie and like, you know, they were like straight out of school and they were like, what can we do? Like, you know, how do we get out there? And they had this concept and they just kind of like took the world by storm, I think. And, you know, both of them now are doing separate things, both really great things. And this movie was such a win-win on all levels, like from, you know, from James Wan's and Lee Whannell's professional careers to us just winning as an audience and getting like these two directors in the world making great shit. Like, come on, dude. Like, you know, like it's just it's top notch, dude. Like, you know, this movie gave us quite a lot and gave the horror genre quite a bit. It changed the horror genre. I think that's not that out there to say. I mean, like that's not.
No, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's not a permanent thing,
No,
and maybe if it got kind of crazy at the end, for better or for worse, yeah, it definitely
it
changed.
totally
stuff.
did because like you said, dude, imitators, right? Like how many fucking gore fests showed up after this movie and were nowhere near as great? like I mean, you talked about Hostel. Those two movies are garbage. I like they're so bad. I mean, like Eli Roth is. I don't love his movies, but
Mhm.
those two movies are just so shallow, surface level of what this movie is trying to do or trying to be. Yeah, solid movie, dude.
Oh, yeah.
The sequels are, you know, not great. Spiral is trash, but definitely worth talking about this movie. I posted a little, hey guys, we're recording this now. What do you guys think in the after party? We got quite a few
Mhm.
comments, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and read a couple. Patrick Harrington says, first two movies, good. The rest felt like snuff films. Matt Anderson of LSG fame commented.
Hell
He
yeah.
said, the franchise is a fucking train wreck from 2 onward, including 2. That said, I think the first is highly original and well done and a great twist on the horror genre, especially during its time. People forget, but this was extremely exciting and new at the time. It was parodied constantly. It was genuinely part of the cultural zeitgeist. That's all been seriously tainted by the money-grubbing sequels, but I think the original still holds up, except for the corny-ass, over-the-top early 2000s score. Blech.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it is pretty
I,
generic. Outside of Zepp's theme, I think it's pretty generic.
Yeah, I mean it's not anything to write home about. It gets the job done. Again, I don't think that they were trying to reinvent the wheel here, but like you said, the ambition and it's like just for even what they were trying to do, they accomplished that and then some. And they did it all with like a lot of limitations. But I'm going to read Danielle Kata.
Yep.
Danielle Kata. Love the first one. Unlike some other movie twists, I never get tired of watching the events of the first film unfold and love the reveal at the end. Yes, it's gory, but it doesn't feel over the top or cheap, unlike the sequels, which focus more and more on the insane death scenes. Don't get me wrong, I watched most of them, but found myself getting bored. The story now matters. I'm sorry, I'm like dyslexic. The story now matters how.
Yeah, there's a typo.
Story
here.
no.
There's something here.
There's a typo. The story
learn to
now matter how
punctuation,
ridiculous.
Danielle, God damn it.
Well, I'm reading it and I'm like, dude, am I fucking how high am I? The story now, I don't know, matters how ridiculous needs to be somewhat engaging, and most of the Saw sequels lack, at least for me. Excited to hear y'all's take on this one. Well, one of us liked it. No, I'm just kidding. It's okay.
I hope you enjoyed the episode, Danielle. Nathan Burkhart, I'll just go ahead and read Jeremy's and Nathan's comments.
Mhm.
Nathan says, the first one is possibly my favorite horror movie ever. I watched the sequel hoping for more of the same. What I received was a cheap dollar store knockoff. I haven't bothered to watch the rest. Yeah, probably a good move.
There you go.
Probably a good move. Jeremy says, a friend of mine from high school wrote 4 and 5. Wow. Maybe
that's pretty fucking
maybe
cool.
even the 6th one. I've lost count. I stopped watching after the 4th. I love that
Nice.
He didn't even he watched one of his mates' movies and he's just like, I'm not coming back for the other 2 days.
I gotta go to this guy's premiere and tell him what I thought.
Yeah, he's like, oh fuck, I bumped into him at a party once. And he's just like,
yeah.
Oh shit. All right, man. That's all. We already gave our final thoughts. We already gave our comments. Green Room members, thank you so much for supporting the show. We really appreciate you guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We hope you guys stick around. There's always gonna be stuff coming here in the Green Room. If you have any suggestions on what you'd like to hear, you guys have a lot of pull. You guys have a lot more pull than what you guys think.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
What you guys want to hear, honestly, just fucking shout it out, and we'll put it in the old bag.
Yeah, we might make it happen.
Indeed. Colin, you got anything else to say before we get out of here?
No, I got to take a piss. We'll see you guys later. Love you.
See you guys.